All right, boys, we are back once again. I do want to apologize for the upload schedule, but you guys have been showing me some love here. We've almost doubled our subs since this game came out, which is absolutely ridiculous. So thank you guys so much. We have a lot of new people watching, so I hope you guys are enjoying what you see. Usually I try to upload a little bit more frequently, but you know, the end of December is always tough with finals and stuff like that for school, so I'm always a little bit hand-capped to get these videos out to you guys, but I'm still trying to get about one up per week. So this one, hopefully I can get it up to you on Sunday, and that way we can go from there. But alas, let's talk about last episode. We are 7-3-2 in our 12 games played. We have some real standout players out here. Obviously, Kyle Connor leading our team in scoring, but tied with him is the one and only Morgan Barron. This man, a trooper. If you guys don't know who Morgan Barron is, you probably know his story at least. He's the guy who got 75 stitches, came back in the same game, tore it up for Winnipeg. He's a real trooper out there. He should have like 99 toughness, if that was like a like 99 durability or something like that, if that was like a stat in here. But apparently he does not even have 85 durability, but his physical really good. He has 13 points in 12 games playing on the fourth line, so I've actually moved him up there because of some suggestions that you guys made. So let's go through those comments right now, starting with Doug McMaster, who says, great series so far, my dude, building up the D nicely, and we love to see it. He says, I like the Taze trade option, and Petrie from Detroit would be another good cheap piece to bring in. He says he would send Lucius back down to the AHL to let him tear it up, and hope he gets a boost overall for the next season. But as always, good luck. Thank you very much, Doug. And that sentiment was really echoed basically throughout most of the other comments as well. We see from RJ, who says, nice video as always. My main trade targets are Taze from Chicago, with a risk of running into them despite their 4-6-3 record. Of course, you know, if you guys know, last season Chicago destroyed us in round number 1, because of course they did, with a bad team. And then he says Petrie from Detroit. He says, I'd like Taze to be that guy who can win us a good amount of faceoffs and be a depth two-way forward on the third line. I think that'll boost this team defensively. And speaking of, like you said, Petrie is a good replacement from Dylan DeMello. Exactly. They're both being paid the same amount, but since Petrie has low trade value and is at a good 85 overall, he could be another solid defenseman to help us out. I'd love to trade for guys like TJ Ginla or Braden Yeager, but again, the trade value seems too high, and it makes sense if we traded for them as like a bottom 5 or 10 team in the league. That's all I have to say for right now. Good luck and go Jets. Thank you for the thoughts, RJ. And it does seem like that's what we're going to try to do, and I've done some pre-scouting to figure out what we can trade for those guys, but we do have a few more comments here. You guys littered me with comments last episode. I love to see it. We have Fresh here, who says, great episode as always. I would keep Lucius in the AHL, or send him down to the AHL, I suppose. Yes, we're burning 1 year off his ELC, which sucks, but it may be to your favor and lower contract demands in the future. That's true. I did not actually think about that. He said it will help his development better, in my opinion. If he was listed as a 4th or 3rd liner, yeah, you got to keep him up, but he's listed as depth. Also, feel like the 3rd D pairing needs a right-hand side upgrade, which is exactly what we're going to get in this one. And then last but not least, Alexander says, great episode. Agree with everyone here. Taze and Petrie seem like very good cheap additions for the 3rd center line and 3rd right defenseman spot. So it seems like the answer is pretty unanimous, and this is why I love the community aspect that we bring into this, because we get to see the collective mind of all the viewers out there who want to comment. And you know, if you don't want to comment either, that's okay as well. You know, just showing up and watching is more than enough. But for those who want to comment and help out with the series in a more direct way, you guys can do so, and we can go out and grab your trade acquisition. So it's like our series, not just me spewing off to you guys and, you know, feeling more of like a different dynamic. This one is much more inclusive. We're more we're gonna work together as a team to get this team a cup. So we're gonna start here with Detroit. Looking at the people who they have on their block, it's Jeff Petrie who we're looking to go after, and I do have a trade already set up, so let me do that for you guys real quick. Okay, boys, so this is the trade I'm looking at. We do have Dylan DeMello on a 2-year deal at 2.375 mil, but Jeff Petry's on a 1-year deal at 2.345 mil, so we're actually saving 50K here. Dylan DeMello, he's a +3, he's playing third pair, 2 goals in 12 games. Jeff Petry, on the other hand, he's playing like second pair with like first line ice time or something, or sorry, first like penalty kill, first power play maybe. He has 3 points in 12 games, +3. He's a better overall though, good defensively, 89 defensive awareness, 88 shot blocking, 88 stick checking, all around just a bit of a better player, good skater. And if you watched in the real world, at least in the Montreal playoff run in like 2020, he can definitely carry some big time minutes if we need him to. He's also an 85, so an upgrade on that right hand side. We're going to give up Connor Levis here, who was drafted in the 7th round in 2023. He actually has medium top 9 potential, so he could become, you know, maybe a low 80 something, but we're not giving up anything too insane with giving up Connor Levis. 2-way forward, his stats look fine, skating 3 stars, shooting 3 stars, but everything else is 2 stars, 1.5. He's not going to be ready for another few years, and we're also going to give them a 7th. We don't really need to keep on to prospects and picks right now. We're trying to hopefully win a cup, right? So getting a guy like Jeff Petry for Dylan DeMello, that'll really help us out. So what do you say to this, Detroit? I think it should go through, and it does. Not too much to deliberate about this deal. Wow, I think Detroit fans will think we came out ahead here. All right, fair enough. Well, I think our fans will think that we came out ahead, so I guess we can meet in the middle there, Detroit. So I like to see that we didn't fleece them, at least, because that is something that I definitely try not to do so much. So here we go. We're going to put in Jeff Petry here. -3, is that real, or is that actually like a 0 or a -1 maybe? Let me actually just double check to make sure, because I don't like -3s for sure. Let me see here. And okay, -1 I can work with. And what is his line fit for the rest of the lines? He actually fits perfectly. So he could be on the first line. Chris Tanev could come down to the third line, and we could get a 0 here. So let's keep that in mind. I'm not saying we have to do it right now. But let's just keep it in mind, because Chris Tanev is a +14 and Josh Morrissey +10, so I don't want to split that up too much. How about these two guys? They're 0 +5. Okay, it's not bad either. So I don't want to split up the top 4 for right now, but it's definitely something we can think about in the future for sure. Okay, guys, so this is the trade I'm thinking of for Jonathan Toews now. Toews, the other guy you said you guys wanted me to go after. He's got 7 points in 13 games. He's a -5, but he's also playing on a really bad Blackhawks team who are 4-9 if you don't account for the overtime wins, but they're 4-6-3, which is not fantastic. With us, he's going to be a third-line center. He's going to get first-line penalty kill time, probably maybe in front of Adam Lowry. So I think it's going to be a good pickup for us. We're going to give him 2/4 Logan Stanley, who we never signed to his RFA contract. I actually kind of forgot about him, but he is an 80 overall now, so could be something for this Blackhawks team. I'm sure he's going to score an overtime Game 7 game winner for us in the Western Conference Finals late, like 5 years down the road or something like that. Could you imagine if that happens? Oh my gosh, that'd be crazy. But either way, and then we're going to give them Janssen Fialbi. He hasn't played a game for us quite yet. I've been watching some Winnipeg Jets games actually recently because of this series, and Fialbi's definitely got some legs on him. He's a pretty quick skater, so something that I was not aware of before this. But either way, we're going to bring back Elias Anderson. He's from Sweden. Yeah, I'll say Elias Anderson. I'm not exactly sure, but he's just kind of a guy to make the contracts work, because they have too many contracts on their hands. And then the big piece, obviously, Jonathan Toews. So we're basically getting Toews for 2/4 and Logan Stanley, and then a swap of Janssen Fialbi and Elias Anderson here. What do you say to this? Chicago rejected. Wow. On the surface, your trade looks good, but we are not so keen in keeping the amount of salary you want us to. You have to say no to this proposal. Yeah, so I did have to make them retain some salary, because otherwise we don't have the cap space to make this deal go through. So I guess that means we're going to have to give up a little bit more. So what about a 4th and a 3rd? Actually, I want to put our 4th in for next year. Maybe a 3rd maybe makes this go through, but that's really unfortunate right there. So a 4th next year and a 3rd this year. What do you say to that? That's a pretty good deal there, Chicago. Rejected. Oh my goodness. Okay. So despite Chicago having, what is that, like $17 million in cap space, they don't want to retain $1.347 million for 1 year. So EA, this is another change you guys have to make. Like, when a team is a seller, they can retain salary for 1 year. and get more out, like get more of the out of the deal. I'm giving them a fourth, a third, and Logan State. I'm giving them a young defenseman. I'm giving them 2 decent picks, and I'm giving them another young forward there, all with decent value. Like, I know it's it is Jonathan Toews, but they're only retaining $1.347 million for 1 more year, and the trade value's in our favor. And they want to give Toews up, and they want 3 of these pieces out here. So I guess we have to throw in another pick. It's not the end of the world. We're not going to be, I'm hoping to be a good enough team where the picks don't really matter. What about a 7th? Will this push us over the edge here? And rejected. Oh my gosh. Okay. They don't want to retain salary, huh? Okay, what about a 6th next year? This is crazy. I don't want this to be too insane. But I feel like, are we fleecing them, man? Is this really that bad of value in here? Let's just keep trying for some picks here. I don't want to give them 2/3. That seems like a lot. Rejected. Oh my god, they're not comfortable retaining salary despite the fact that they have $17 million of cap space. Okay. Okay, game. You're gonna play games with me? Alright, here's the new deal. 2 fourths and a third. I don't want to go much higher than this. What do you say, Chicago? Oh my god. Bro, you're only retaining $1.3 million for 1 year. It's not like it's on your books for the next 8 years. When you have to sign, I know you have to sign Connor Bedard. You can sign him to like a $10 million deal for like 8 years or whatever. It's not going to be the end of the world here. Like, you can't even sign him next year either. So you're splitting hairs about retaining $1.3 million for 1 year when you don't even have to sign anybody big. Like, what is this nonsense, man? Wyatt Kaiser, Alex Vlasic, like, these guys are really gonna get paid that much? There's nobody in here who's gonna get paid a lot of money. Oh my god. Okay, Taylor Hall, sure. Okay, you give Taylor Hall what, $6 million again? Like, it's not you have $17 million. What the heck is this, dude? This is crazy. Okay, I'm throwing Chistov and Gravchenko into the deal here. Chistov, a low elite prospect. He actually does not have great trade value. He's 18 years old. He's a 49 overall, Sure, he might become like a mid-80 player eventually, but it's going to be in the next 5 years as well. And we can always find guys like this in the draft, especially with the way we scout, which I'll probably be doing a scouting video sometime this month. But yeah, with the way we scout, we're going to be able to find low elite guys like him in the draft. So a 49 overall is, a low elite. We can find better. And then Kravchenko, a low top 6 forward. These guys again, low top 4 defenseman, excuse me. He's an offensive defenseman, which I do like actually, but he's only 46 overall. He's not really going to become anything either. So what about these 2 guys for Jonathan Toews as well? Look at the value, by the way. I mean, this is just crazy. Here we go. What do you say? And they would do this. Okay, hang on. Will they do this for not Chistov, but with Kravchenko? No, they would not. Okay, what about with Kravchenko? Because I would like to hang on to Chistov if I can. I know you guys are screaming at your screens right now. I know he's got low elite potential. So if I can get a 7th for it, let's see. 7th, rejected. Okay, so I guess Chistov was the player that they wanted, not Kravchenko. So let's throw both them in it again. Let's just get this deal over with. It's not the end of the world. These 2 guys, they do have value, but they're not. It's not the end of the world, right? 2 fourths, 2 prospects. Logan Stanley for Jonathan Toews. What do you say, Chicago? Actually, I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna say yes. Here you go. Take that. Chaz Lucius will have to move down, which is exactly what we are going to have happen anyways. You're happy to accept this deal on behalf of the Chicago Blackhawks. You consider it a done deal. There you go, Chicago. You get your man. We get ours. Have fun with that trade package. So here we have to send Chaz Lucius down to the to the AHL. He does not have waivers, so I'll fix the lines after that. No problems there. Let me go into the edit lines, and I'll do all this stuff for you guys. Okay, so down here in the AHL, we do have Chaz Lucius, who's going to be playing top line minutes for the AHL. I just hope he can turn his season around a little bit here and be more comfortable being like one of the best players in the AHL, hopefully. So I don't think I can really get him much more, much better chemistry on that first line. I'm just looking here. Brad Lambert's actually pretty good for it. So like this gets a +1, and Brad Lambert's somebody else that we want to be trying to grow for sure. Anybody better than Fabian Wagner though? Because I don't know how much chemistry matters, but I feel like it does make a bit of a difference here. +1 still. Yeah, everybody else is actually this guy fits really, really well on that top line, but again, can't get them over a +1, so maybe I'll just keep it how it was. I mean, Brad Lambert, 7 points in 10 games, that's good. 5 for you, 6 for you. We don't really have anybody else that we're looking at except for Artemi Kniazev with 6 points in 10 games. He's playing 25 minutes a night. You like to see that for sure. And everyone else is like medium top 6 defensemen, stuff like that. So nothing too special out here. Goalies, we have Thomas Milic and Oskari Salminen. Ooh, I like that name. And he's actually playing very well as well. So that's good to see. And in the NHL now, our lines look like this. We're going to stick with basically how they've been looking this whole season. Now, this is the thing. I do want Morgan Barron to get some more time because he has 13 points in 12 games. So I've kept this line together. But if he starts, but I have also gone to the power play here, and I want to put him on this power play unit. So we're going to put Jonathan Toews out here because our power play has been struggling. So Jonathan Toews will get the center because then he can win us some draws. And then, see, this is the problem though. Like, how's Gabe Vilardi doing in the power play? He has 1 power play point. What about Nino Niederreiter? He's got 2. Okay, so that's a pretty easy decision. Then Gabriel Vilardi will come out for the incredibly hot right now Morgan Barron, -3. I know it's very bad, but at the same time, I mean, there's no X factors. Like, what are you really gonna do here? We can also move some of these guys. Maybe try to split the wealth or spread the wealth out a little bit here. Maybe like Nikolai Ehlers can go to that line. We bring Morgan Barron out into the first line. Is this too crazy? Yeah, we still have a -3. Yeah, that's too crazy. Okay, we'll keep the power play lines how they are for now. Hopefully Jonathan Toews can help us on the penalty kill as well, so he will be here. Jonathan Toews will come down here and be our first unit penalty killer. Other than that, I think it's pretty good how it is. Who's the better face-off man? Okay, sure, I can stay. And over here, that can stay as well. So I do like these lines now. Let me just put in a taser in there. And then we're all good to go here. So this episode also, by the way, my friends, I just want to do a quick... yeah, see, this can be Jonathan Toews here as well, playing 4-on-4 and 3-on-3 time. He has a better face-off rating. Alex Iafallo. Should we get Morgan Barron in there instead? Nah, maybe we shouldn't go too crazy with it. I'll just throw Toews on these lines here as the third line center for the extra lines. Okay. So that is all said and done. You see the lines. We're keeping them how they are for now. We're playing pretty well, but we've made some trades. That's basically all the trades that we can really make. We've put Chaz Lucius down to the AHL where he can hopefully play a little bit better. And there's a game right there that I want to see. It's a rematch of round 1. So I do always want to see like the first game back with like this new team as well. So let's watch the Columbus game. And who should be in nets for this one? All right, so I'm going to go with Laurent Brossoit here to play for this one. He has better numbers than Connor Hellebuck, so he's going to play the first game back with this new team out there in front of him. So let's go here. Up against the Columbus Blue Jackets, who are 6-4-2. We are 7-3-2. So similar records here between these two teams. Let's see how we go. First period, we're up 1-0 as Gabriel Vilardi sneaks one past Elvis Merzlikins. Very good, Gabriel. Second period now. Okay, it's tie game. Alex Texier scores on Laurent Brossoit. Now, penalty killers go out and do their thing. And then Josh Morrissey on the power play is going to blast one. And then Jonathan Toews in his Winnipeg Jets debut gets another one. Nikolai Ehlers on the power play as well. And the boys buzz out there in the third period to get us a 3-goal lead. Basically I mean, they scored 3 goals in less than 3 minutes. So that is very nice to see. Ken Johnson puts one past Laurent Brossoit. But then Morgan Barron, the legend himself, scores even strength as he's done his entire this entire season. He doesn't have a single power play point because we just threw him on there. And he's got 14 points in 13 games, does Morgan Barron. Now, Jonathan Toews in his debut gets a goal. And the Jets are rolling after that win. Let's go, boys. That's lovely to see. And David Gustafsson has been injured now. So let me edit these lines. So with Gustafsson going down, I'm actually going to give some time to Morgan Barron, or should I give it to IFL? No, we'll give it to Morgan Barron here. And I will throw in Axel Jonsson Fjallby on the fourth line. What a name. We love to see that, and he fits the fourth line actually pretty well. So we're going to keep that how it is. Morgan Barron will move up to the third line after his great performances so far. Goalie in the net will be Connor Hellebuck for next game. And let's do it up against the Vegas Golden Knights. They've got a good record here. They're 9-3-0. So this is a tough one. And Gabriel Velarde has now been injured. So that's 3 injuries in 2 injuries in 2 games at least. Let me edit these lines. We have to call somebody up. Okay, because we don't have because we have like 3 injuries to our top or to our like forwards, right? Yeah, we've got Velarde out, we've got Gustafsson out, we've got Adam Lowry out. So for now, I guess no, I gotta do this right because Velarde's on a lot of lines here. So let me do these roster moves. All right, boys, and we are so cap struck that we actually can't bring anybody up onto the team. So here's the thing: we're gonna have to go with Kyle Capobianco on the 4th line. Ike Ciafalo will play second line time with Cole Perfetti and Blake Wheeler. This is crazy, man. Okay, so we can't bring anyone up. So Capobianco gonna have to do his thing on the 4th line, being a forward. I don't know if he's ever played forward in his career. Probably hasn't, but you never know, I guess. And then for the second unit power play here, I can just throw in really whoever. It doesn't matter too much. Okay, so we're going to run with the same lines, basically. Well, we've brought Morgan Barron up to fit that spot for, who was it? No. It was, David Gustafsson, who was the replacement of Adam Lowry. And then Gabriel Velarde got injured, so we have to throw Kyle Capobianco in there instead. So this 4th line, Rasmus Kupari, your plus-minus might drop here a little bit, but injuries are not our friend. We lost 3-2 in that one as well. And now Jonathan Toews playing his old team. Let's see how it goes for us. We've got bandages everywhere. We've got the medics out on the ice 24/7. So here we go. That first period ends 1-0 in favor of Chicago. Of course it does, because Connor Bedard is gonna score on 5 shots. We've allowed 1 goal. That is not ideal. Let's go. Second period here, boys. Remains 1-0. Can we score on this team? They have 77 overall defensemen playing on their defensive lines. Come on, boys. There we go. Kyle Connor snipes one past Artem Soderblom. Is it Artem? I feel like it was, but I don't know. Seth Jones is going to score now. I don't think Seth Jones has a single goal in the real world yet, but I could be wrong with that statement. And we're going to get destroyed by like an 80 overall Soderblom here. And the Chicago Blackhawks are our nightmares in the in this series so far. It's pretty crazy here. And if actually Phoenix Copley got in and got a shutout for some reason, they took Soderblom out of the net, and he got a shutout in the shots that he received. So we're gonna do some calendar simulation now. Hopefully we don't have too many injuries that we have to deal with, but let's just go a few weeks here and try to win some games, I guess. Oh my gosh, Toronto's 2-11-0. Yikes. So let's go and see this Colorado game, or at least simulate 2 that day. Adam Lowry's fully back. Let me do the lines. Okay, so I've thrown Adam Lowry in there instead of Capobianco. Bianco in those games, he didn't hurt us, so I will gladly take that. He played 1 game, he got no points, no assists, you know, I'm totally fine with that. No penalty minutes either, only played 7.5 minutes. That's totally okay. We're waiting on Velarde and Gustafsson to come back, but after that, we will have a full bill of health. I've thrown Adam Lowry there on the 4th line. We have a really deep center core now, which I really like to see. Our wings are a little bit weak, but Morgan Barron playing like a 90 overall out there. He's got 15 points in 15 games. I'm sure that will come up down to earth a little bit more here, but I'm not complaining whatsoever about Morgan Barron. Let me stop the sim because you have to, because EA has not figured out how to make their game function properly, and let's continue simulating now. Okay, we have a big trade here. Nikita Zadorov goes to the Philadelphia Flyers with a 2nd and a 3rd for Scott Lawton going back to Calgary for a 4th. That is actually a big deal. So Calgary gets another two-way forward centerman, and Philadelphia gets a big boy defenseman. So that's an interesting trade. There we go. Get back on the winning streak. David Gustafsson's fully back. I don't think he's in the lineup though, so let's just continue for now. That's another win as well. We're on a bit of a win streak here. Can we keep it going? Yes, we can. Okay. So you guys know my rule. We don't stop simulating when we're on a winning streak. So let's keep going here. Up against the New Jersey Devils. Oh my goodness. And Cole Perfetti, he's only out for a week, granted. Let's just replace him for right now. We're still on a winning streak. So I've got to shift the centers up and down a little bit here. But I think that's like 3 in a row or so. Seems like Morgan Barron's dropped off a little bit, but that's okay. What's his pace now? Morgan Barron. I don't know why. I just really like the story a lot here. Morgan Barron, he's got 17 points in 21 games. Like, what more do you want out of the kid, right? Let me go. Yeah, so David Gustafson is not going to be on our power play. I'll tell you that for right now. We can throw on. Oh my gosh, what am I doing? Why didn't I have Blake Wheeler on the power play anywhere? What the heck? Blake Wheeler can go there. Over here can be... Actually, that's fine. That's the same. That's fine. And then, other than that, I think we're okay. I don't think we had... I know he he has got 4-on-4 and 3-on-3. So let's get Jonathan Toews. And then on the third unit, we can go with Adam Lowry. Good. Same thing with the 3-on-3 lines as well. All right, in each of the lines, we got a +5, +2, +1, +1. I like to see that. We're on a, what's our winning streak now? Like 4 games in a row, 5 games in a row. So that's good to see as well. Let me just make sure it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5-game winning streak here, and we're playing the 5-13-1 Toronto Maple Leafs for 2 games in a row. Let's try to keep it going. Cole Perfetti might be ready for this next one. Okay, and of course we lose to this awful team. Perfetti should be ready for the Montreal game, I assume. It's December 1st. Any RFAs? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, Cole Perfetti's fully back. And was that a win? No, of course. We lose to awful team 2 games in a row. Let me put Perfetti back in the lines. Okay, so there we go. For you guys, at least, it's not going to look like it took too much time. For me, of course, I've been... actually, I haven't been recording for too long quite yet, but... definitely a bit of a nuisance to go through all of that. So let's simulate to the end of this month, I say, just to get a big bulk of simulation done. In this episode, we hopefully, and we're on a bit of a losing streak here. There we go. There's a win. There's a win. Okay, good. Let's get back on. Yeah, okay, much better. Velarde's fully back now. Hang on. I can't even string together a few sentences, man. Let me get Gabriel Velarde back in the lineup. All right, so these are the lines once again. Just giving you guys a quick look. We've put Velarde on that second line where he's been playing his, basically this whole season so far, well, until he got injured. Jonathan Toews, Morgan Barron, Nino Niederreiter. Iafallo dropped to the fourth line with Lowry and Kupari. Defense looks the same, hasn't changed. And then goalies in the net. So hopefully, fingers crossed, knock on wood, whatever you want to say, we don't get too many more injuries because, good lord, I don't know how many more I can take. Let's decline these trades here and... Okay, let me simulate down to the first here. Let's try to get on a bit of a run here, boys. For 17-10-2, which is a good record, just got to keep the wins coming, and they are. Okay, so now let me talk for a little bit to you guys. And my goal for this episode, as we lose 3 straight, was to maybe simulate to the end of the year because we are so close to the cap. Let me just zoom down to the 20th. That's when I have to do the scouting. Because we're so close to the cap here, we can't really make any trades. And can I finish a sentence? All right, David Gustafson's going in there for Iafallo. We can also do like this and get them a +1 on that third line. How's the third line doing? Yeah, they're actually doing very, very well together. Morgan Barron with 27 and 37. Jonathan Toews with 15 and 25 in his time here. He's also a +6. So, yeah, they're doing very well. I don't want to mess that up. So, we're going to keep the lines like this. Adam Lowry is actually a -4 this year. Yikes. I did not think that was going to happen. Rasmus Kupari also. So, Morgan Barron, I think on that fourth line was really pumping up their +- because he was scoring so much. Like, you can see he's doing it for this line too now. So... I mean, I can't exactly move Morgan Barron back down to the fourth line. Why would I give him less time, right? Also, Blake Wheeler has dropped to an 84 overall now. It used to be 85, so keep that in mind, my friends. But either way, let's get back to the simulation, and let's try to do this one properly here. Let me simulate back down to the 20th. And here we go. So I was thinking to take this video to the end of the year, depending on how well we do. Obviously, if we get to the trade deadline and we're kind of in that wild card spot a little bit, maybe I stop it. But right now, I mean, we're 8 points, above the wild card spot. That win against the Wild is actually a pretty big one. I have to do the scouting, but I will be right back. We are 25, 14, and 4, which is a good record. I mean, the Avalanche are up there at 29, 13, and 3. But the Blues, they have 5 games in hand. They're only 4 points above us, so definitely can catch up to them. And hopefully we can keep our lead here going into February. But let me do the scouting. Okay, the scouting has been taken care of. Let me just readjust myself. We'll simulate down to this Ottawa game. The team that we did our NHL 23 GM mode with. And hang on, Iafallo is back in the lineup. So actually, I'm going to continue. You know what? Until we lose a game, I'm going to continue. We've won 3 straight now. And okay, that's in the AHL. Thank goodness. We've had all of our injuries to the NHL in this episode. So finally an AHL player gets injured and I don't have to worry about it. That's a loss though. So let me throw Iafallo back in. All right, so Gustafsson comes out. Iafallo goes back in there. I know he's playing on the 4th line as an 83, but what are you going to do? I make the rules. I make the lines, you know, and the other lines are playing well. So I'm not going to change it if it ain't broke, right? That's a loss, and then a 5-0 shutout win against a really tough Avalanche team. That's a really important win, actually, because the Avs are, well, they're like 7 points or 8 points ahead of us, and they have 3 games. Yeah, okay, it's an important win. It's not the like be all end all, but or end all be all. Whatever, man. I can't talk today. We're playing the Ottawa Senators, who are 29-20-3 in year number 2. I wish they could do that in real life for me for once, but of course they cannot. There's Mark Scheifele with 2 goals for us. Alex for so 2 Senators. See, this is typical. This is so typical. You know, 2 Senators who aren't actually on the team and in the real world. They're gonna get it done in EA land. Eric Robertson not even on the Sens in the Sens organization. I don't know what happened to Alex Formenton. He fell off the face of the earth somehow. I don't really know what happened there. But either way, second period underway. 6-3 for the Jets. Let's go. Jonas Brodin with 2. Nikolai Ehlers with 2. This is such a weird game. We've had Jonas Brodin with 2 goals, Nikolai Ehlers with 2 goals, and Mark Scheifele all with 2 goals. Who's going to get the next 2? Let's find out in the third period here. Can we get another 2 from, I'm going to call it right now, Rem Pitlick scores a short-handed goal. Our 2 goals in this period are going to come from Blake Wheeler. That's exactly what I was going to say. EA reading my mind. Here we go. Blake Wheeler's going to get another goal in 3, 2, 1. Nope, never mind. Matthew Joseph scores 1 for the Sens, though, to make this a respectable 7-5 blowout. It's kind of the game you would expect if you're a Sens fan. You know that we don't have defense to save our entire lives, but as I say that, Anton Forsberg just got a shutout last night, so what do I know? Here's Ehlers with 3 points, Blake Wheeler with 4, and Mark Scheifele with 4 as well. Those top 2 lines going to work in that one, and their lines were nowhere to be found. Where was Tim Stützle there? Where was Brady? We don't know. So let's go down here to basically the trade deadline. I would say maybe we watch this game against New Jersey, but we are playing quite well right now, so I don't have any, I don't need to change the lines, I don't need to make any other moves. Phil Kessel, that's a very interesting prospect here. Well, no, he's not a prospect, but it's an interesting... You guys know what I'm trying to say. Yeah, you guys know what I'm trying to say. It's just that there's so many words. I mean, the same things in this ridiculous English language. That's 2 losses in a row. Oh my goodness. And Josh Morrissey injured until February 19th. That's not too far, I don't think. So we can replace him with Capobianco, and potentially we can get Jeff Petrie up there. Jeff Petrie dropped to an 84 overall as well. So that's a bit unfortunate. Let's go. Hinola can play second line. This will become Capobianco. See, they don't have good chemistry, though. What am I going to do about it, right? A power play now. We can't have Capobianco on the power play. Let's get Neil Pionk there on the second unit. Yeah, I won't make you guys watch this, don't worry. All right, so I made all those changes. I'm also noticing Blake Wheeler now down to an 83 overall, despite having 47 points in 53 games. Makes sense to me. Cole Perfetti's on pace. He's got 43 and 51. It's not horrible. I'd like to see some more goals out of him. He does have more goals than last year already, though. And maybe this is why. Gabriel Velarde only with 20 and 40, basically. Tough to figure this stuff out, man. Jonathan Toews, he's got 28 points in 41 games. That's good. Morgan Barron really has fallen off here. 29 points in 53 games, plus 14 though still. Nino Niederreiter, -5 for us, 24 points. So maybe Morgan Barron coming down to earth a little bit. We can throw Iafallo up there now and run with this line. That was the way that Morgan Barron kind of his emergence came out. Down here, I've also noticed Jeff Petrie has dropped to an 84. He was on 85 to start off when we traded for him. So a bit unfortunate there, but now we're really going to have to rely on Jonas Brodin to carry a real heavy load here. I could also go like this and put Jeff Petrie up on the first line, but Kristanov has definitely earned his stay on the first line right now. He's get plus 26, so I'm okay with it for now, and he's only out for a little bit of time as well. So let me stop the sim. Okay, let me, I gotta do this too. Good lord. And look at this. When I come down here, we see Chaz Lucius has grown to a 79 overall. He has, with the AHL, he's got 30 points in 34 games. So Chaz Lucius, good call on that one, boys. Bringing Chaz Lucius back down to the AHL was definitely worth it. Get Chisholm in there, and let's continue now. I gotta stop the sim. Okay, and it looks like we just beat the Philadelphia Flyers 8-1. So Josh Morrissey should be coming back. He might be coming back after this game, actually, isn't he? No, he's not, but he is back now. So we go 2-1 without Josh Morrissey, which is very nice to see. Let me edit these lines once again, and I'll be back. All right, we've got Morrissey back in there with Tanev once again. So the lines look pretty similar to how they did at the once we picked them up. But Jeff Petrie, despite being 84, dropping to an 84, he's a plus 10 with us. So he's going to be helping the growth out of Ville Heinola, who's a plus 8 as well. So those two are getting it done, despite they have a minus on the chemistry wise. Let's sim down to the New Jersey game. And then I will take a look at the trade blocks and stuff like that. If I find anything really enticing, maybe I'll try to make a move. But again, salary cap is a massive issue for us, so I'm not going to try to be forcing anything just yet. We are also second in our division. Yeah, and we've earned that second place as well. We're almost first. We're one of the better teams in the league as well, so we will take that. And let's go and see this New Jersey Devils game. So first period, 2-1 for the Winnipeg Jets as Nino Niederreiter gets one, and then Jonathan Toews on the power play. Alexander Holtz gets one on his power play. Second period, the score remains 2-1, and we are into the third now. Can Winnipeg hold on to this lead, or will the dynamic offense of the New Jersey Devils get them back into this game as it has done so many times in the past? Let's find out. Sit down, grab your popcorn, and let's take a seat and watch. And the Winnipeg Jets looks like we played our style of game, a more defensive style, and we get the win despite being outshot by like 7 or 8 shots. Connor Hellebuck gets us that win. Vitek Vanacek also has a good game for himself, and Jonathan Toews has 2 points. So it was a good game from us. I am now going to simulate to the trade deadline and take a look at the trade blocks around the league. I'm just going to do some quick scouting of the trade blocks. Troy Stecher is on waivers. Troy Stecher, a guy we want to pick up, right-handed defenseman, decent stats, but he's basically kind of the same guy as Capobianco. He also has too much salary, so we are going to decline this waiver offer, I guess is what you would call it, or something along those lines. So let me look at the trade blocks and I will be right back. Okay, so I didn't see anything on the trade blocks that I could go for. Also, because of our salary cap situation, it's pretty rough out there. So we're just gonna have to simulate past, but we do get to see some blockbuster trades. And Cam Fowler, who was on the block, goes to Minnesota, so he's coming to our division. That's really unfortunate. Ryan Hartman goes the other way to Anaheim, and then some picks being swapped out there. Any others? Andrew Kopp goes to Arizona, so once again the West getting a little bit better for 2 seconds. Okay. And that is all the blockbuster trades, but you guys know how we like to do it out here. We do like to look at the entire trade deadline, and it looks like a decent amount of trades did go down. David Savard goes to Vegas, and Kasperi Kapanen for Chayka, and a 5th and a 6th. Chayka, a top-rated prospect, I believe. Anybody else really interesting? Doesn't look like it. Florida get JVR. Chicago gets Sergei Bobrovsky. Oh, good lord. We're going to run into a super hot goaltender in the playoffs, aren't we? Good lord. Andrew Kopp, we know, goes to Arizona. TJ Brody goes to New Jersey. Montreal get 2 seconds. Okay. Vladislav Gavrikov to Florida. Brady Shea to Arizona. Jakub Vrana to Calgary. Michael Backlund to San Jose. Arturi Lehkonen goes to Detroit from Colorado, so that rivalry swaps some players. And then Ryan Strome to Detroit. Okay, so some interesting trades. I am pretty worried about the Chicago one that they got Sergei Bobrovsky, but there is nothing that we can do about it. We just got to push forward. We are, what is our record? We are 37, 17, and 7, looking to find the playoff spot for sure. So let's go and start with Carolina here. after the trade deadline. Let's see if we can perform for this one. First period now underway, 1-1. Blake Wheeler scores for us, Svechnikov scores for them. Second period, 2-2. Okay, Svechnikov gets his second of the night, but Nikolai Ehlers ties it up at 2s. We need Hellebuck to shut the door here, and we need our offense to find one, s'il vous plaît. Okay, 10 minutes into the third, we got a power play, and we score on it. It's Blake Wheeler. I feel like that addition there, putting Blake Wheeler on the power play, I feel like that was such a good decision. I can't believe I didn't have him on the power play before, but throwing him on the power play really does feel like the power play has come alive. At least when we've gone in and watched it, I've seen him get a few power play goals here in the simulation. Blake Wheeler with 2 goals, Hellebuck with 30 saves, Svechnikov with 2 goals as well. Those are the 3 stars of the night, and now it is time to simulate. Hang on, Ben Hutton. Is this a young... I feel like he's young, right? No, he's not. He's actually 31. So we can't take on that salary. So we will just decline that trade rate, or that, not the trade, the waiver pickup option. And here we go. Where should we simulate to? Should we go see the new Chicago Blackhawks with Sergei Bobrovsky? I feel like we've already watched them in this video, though. No need to do that. We can go see Vegas, who made a move. I forget who it was for. But we also have to keep in mind divisional matchups. Like St. Louis, that's a big one. So let's go see Vegas, and then we'll see St. Louis after them. And let's see how the boys perform out here. Lundmark is fully healed. Let's just continue for now. It's a loss, then a win, then another loss, and then a win. Okay, so we're about 500 after the trade deadline so far. We are still good in a playoff spot for now. So let's go and see this Vegas game. We have 40 wins on the season already, which I love to see. And now up against Vegas, first period is 2-1 for the Winnipeg Jets. Blake Wheeler, man, he's had his name on many score sheets in the slow sim. That is very, very nice. 3-1 now as Rasmus Kupari adds 1, and we are up by 2 in the third period. Shots basically even, but Hellebuck back there is backstopping us to hopefully a massive, massive win. I shouldn't have said that, but I wanted to anyway. And Jonathan Toews is going to prove me correct when he gets 1 in the third period there, and then Iafallo pours it on with 5 seconds left. He's going to score the 5th of the night. That's more like a 4-1 win than a 5-1 win, but Hellebuck once again having a very good performance for us back between the pipes. Next game we're going to go see is the St. Louis Blues here. We've won 2 in a row. Let's try to make it 3 up against the tough Edmonton Oilers. We beat them. We beat Chicago as well, so we are on a little bit of a roll. And Brad Lambert been injured. Okay, so that's one that I'm going to have to replace myself when he comes back. But hang on, look at this, boys. Look at this. Brad Lambert's fully healed. Okay, hang on. I'll go and do this. And Lambert actually up to a 76. So Chaz Lucius up to 79. Lambert up to 76. These two guys are playing very well down there in the minor, so that's good to see. Let me stop the sim here. Is my winning streak going to come to an end because I have to stop the sim? Let's see. No, we are on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 game winning streak. I believe that is the biggest winning streak of our series so far. Also, with that 8 game winning streak, we are in a President's Trophy position right now. So let's keep going here. Let's go 1 game at a time. You guys know my rules. We don't stop the sim. Okay. We usually don't stop the sim until we lose a game, and now we lose. No, we only lose 1, and then we come back with a win right after that. St. Louis is a big game. We've also clinched the playoffs, if you guys see that. So St. Louis is not too big of a game anymore, but we'll go and see them anyway. Divisional matchup. Why not? St. Louis. Let's see what you guys have for us. First period, 0-0. Okay, these two teams just trading blows one after the... Well, not offensive blows, but big defensive hits. Second period, 2-0 for the Jets. Ville Heinola and Mark Scheifele both get on the board. That is beautiful. I feel like we do have good depth scoring, and it's shown once again with a goal from Chris Tanev on Jordan Binnington. And the best part about this slow sim that I've been seeing recently, like when we've gone in and jumped into these games, is the goals against has been quite low, and Connor Hellebuck has been playing very well. If you remember in the playoffs last year, Hellebuck had some poor stats. Granted, he usually did have like 35 to 40 shots per game. but you know, you still like to see a little bit more out of your number one goalie, and he's going to show us that he can get it done here with 24 saves, a 960 save percentage. Mark Scheifele going to have a goal, and Kyle Connor with 2 assists, and that first line is just going to work against the opposition. So now I think we just simulate to the end of the season. No other really important matchups, I don't think, here. Yeah, Chicago, yeah, they're not going to make the playoffs. Okay, so we're all good, and Dallas, it doesn't look like it's going to be, they might be a wild card team, but they are not in a super good playoff spot, and that's win number 50, as Connor Hellebuyck falls to an injury, a strained hamstring. Whew, that's really unfortunate until April 15th, so I hope he doesn't miss too much time. That would be really bad. So we get Thomas Milic up here? Give him some experience? Sure, why not? Just because Salmonen has waivers and he's a medium fringe starter, 25, so he might actually get claimed off waivers, so I wouldn't like to see that. So let me just change the NHL lines here, not the 5-on-5 lines or anything like that. And look at this, Cole Perfetti up to an 86 now, so he's growing slowly but surely. That's very good. Now goalies, I'm gonna put in Milic. We're gonna throw Brossois in as the starter. And let me also edit the Manitoba Moose lines. So we get I don't know, man. As we get this goalie here, Dominic in the net there. So let's stop the sim. Oh, Yakov Trenin. Oh, hang on a second. 80 overall. Two-way forward, making 1.97 mil. Yakov Trenin's a guy that I do like. I feel like he's a real good defensive player. Trenin here, 5 games, he's playing as their basically like their 13th forward, so he's not going to have too much giveaways to takeaways, basically the same hits. Yeah, Trenin though, I do like his defensive stats usually. He's only an 80 in this universe though, so means that I don't really want him, and we don't have the money for him anyway either, so we're going to decline that. I want to stop the sim, and got to do this nonsense here. We lose, so we've lost 2 straight. Can we get above 50 wins? Can we get like 51 wins or 52 wins perhaps? That would be very, very nice, but I don't know if it's going to happen. Mark Scheifele is doing his thing. I just want to make sure we have the correct goalie in the net after that back-to-back there. So let me just ensure, yeah, Brossois in the net, so that's good. And where's April 15th? Okay, so Connor Hellebuyck might be back for the playoffs, which is obviously very important. Very, very, very important. And that's a win against Dallas, and Hellebuyck has returned to the lineup. Thank goodness. I'll make sure he's not playing. I'll make sure he's not playing the last game of the season, because that would be awful if he played the last game of the season, then he's out for like the entire playoffs. That would be brutal, man. So let me just go and make sure that he's not going to play. Let's get Brossois in there, or sorry, let's get Hellebuyck in there, and just have to go back and check. And if you guys are seeing the standings, that I saw the standings when I went into edit lines, it actually looks like we might have some very nice news. But before that, hang on. Actually, I'm not going to check because I don't want it to be anticlimactic. Before that, we have a game up against LA. You can't overlook any team in this league. LA probably not making the playoffs, but they might want to show their management why they deserve new contracts or things like that. So let's try to get a win here, boys. In the first period, goes to LA. Kevin Fiala gets a goal on Brossois. Let's go. Come on, boys. Wake up. Second period now. Okay. LA remains with the lead, but Gabriel Velarde at the start of the third period, 15 seconds in, is going to even us up. And then Cole Perfetti on the power play is going to get one about 3 minutes later. That's very good. Now halfway through that third period, shots very, very heavily in our favor as the boys are lighting up Ilya Samsonov, but Kopitar is going to get one on Brossois to tie this up at 2s, and we could be, no, we're not. Iafallo with 50 seconds left. He says, I'm going to score. We don't need to go to extra innings, and the Winnipeg Jets take that one 4-2. Well played, boys, with 4 goals in the third period as well. Scheifele with 2 points, Iafallo with a goal, Kyle Connor with 2 points, and now we can see how everybody stacked up. So not everybody has played 82 games. I'm just going to keep simulating here. I'm trying not to look at the individual numbers of the teams. Just want to make sure Hellebuyck's fully healed. That's beautiful news. Okay, everybody played 82. Yes, they have. So now let's take a look at where we sit in the standings in the entire league and where we sit in the standings in our, not our division. I don't care about our division, just the entire league. We are the President's Trophy winners. We're ahead of Boston. Actually, we're tied with Boston with points. So why do we get the win? Oh, regulation plus overtime wins. I see. We have more regulation plus overtime wins. So that's why we get the nod over the Boston Bruins here. With identical records, however, that could be a very difficult matchup if it ever gets that far in the playoffs. Looking at our goals for per game, we are the second best team with 3.73 in the entire NHL. And then goals against, the one that I care most about, we are the first, second, third, fourth best team in the entire NHL. So not actually, crazy President's Trophy numbers. Boston, I would actually assume, might be... Oh, no. Yeah, Boston's pretty good as well. They're like third and third. So, pretty interesting stuff there. Let's look at our special teams now. Yeah, only 16% power play. I mean, I just can't get this power play going. We're closer to the bottom for sure than the top. Let's look at penalty kill now. Where are we? Are we up here? This is 8, 9, 10. We're the 10th best penalty kill in the entire league, so that's not bad. At home, we're absolute monsters, 26, 10, and 5. And on the road, 26, 13, and 2. Okay, so actually maybe, no, yeah, a little bit better at home. Last 10, we are 6, 4, 0. Not coming into the playoffs super hot, but we're also the best team in the league. So what are you going to do about it here? We have the best odds to win the... Well, I don't know if that's necessarily true, but we were the best team in the regular season. So that is something to be incredibly proud of, boys. Very nice job indeed. Looking at the player stats, that first line, they went to bat for us, and luckily it definitely paid off this time round. Mark Scheifele with 89 points in 82 games. Let's just look at forwards for now. Kyle Connor with 88 and 82. So these boys finally put together above point per game season. And I say finally, like we haven't only done one other season, right? But they put together a above point per game season in their second season together. Kyle Connor also gets 45 goals. If we can get that up to 50 one day, that would be very nice. But 45 is a very, very good total. Nothing to sneeze at whatsoever. Nikolai Ehlers down here with 83, still above point per game. That's beautiful. A really good pace here, much better than his pace last year, so we will take that. Blake Wheeler, we signed him in free agency. He shows up with 68 points in 82 games as a second liner. That is beautiful. Cole Perfetti here gets 23 goals, 40 assists for 63 points as well. That is also very nice. Jonathan Toews, he's played 83 games this year, and with us, 55 points in 70 games, plus 13. He's helping out the offense just as much as the defense out there, doing his thing. Then it really falls off a cliff. I would love to see, where is Gabriel Velarde? I know he missed some games, but still, man. Nino Niederreiter with 45, 27 goal scorer out of Nino Niederreiter. That's beautiful. He's in there for goals. He's in there on the power play. He can do his thing. I see a follow on the second line. No, he was on the... Yeah, no. He was on the third and the fourth line, so not horrible whatsoever. 39. Morgan Barron. Yeah, Morgan Barron fell off a cliff here. He used to be at... I think he had 25 points in 20... Oh, no, he had 15 points in 15 games. He had 13 points in 12 games. And unfortunately, he now has 36 points in 82 games. So maybe that offensive spark was just happenstance, it's just random. But I'm not going to complain about it. 36 points for a third, fourth liner is not bad. Gabriel Velarde on the second line. I need to see more to Gabriel Velarde on the second line. That's really rough. Only 31 points in 68 games. Definitely want to see more. Adam Lowry playing fourth line time. Usually he's our third liner, but this year played fourth line for us. So 28 points in 79 games. Not bad for a fourth liner. -5 though is kind of rough, but he's our captain. He's in there doing his thing. Rasmus Kupari with 20 in 82 is decent. And then some depth guys down here. Fialbi with 3 points in 15 games. And David Gustafsson with 1 point in 12 games. But David Gustafsson, he's making 1.2 mil for the next 2 years because of his playoff performance last year. So if things start to look bad, we can look to this guy. He had 6 points, or he had 5 points in 6 games last year. So we can definitely try to look to him if things start to fall off. Now, let's take a look at the defensemen. And thank goodness Josh Morrissey had a healthy season, and he had an incredible point total. 73 points, also being a plus 41, ladies and gents. That is what you get when you pair him alongside of a defensive defenseman like Chris Tanev. He really can shine there because he doesn't have another offensive defenseman trying to steal the spotlight from him on his line. He generates all the offense. Chris Tanev is allowed to stay at home and just do his thing back there. Doesn't have to rely on him for any offense. Josh Morrissey gets it done with 73 points. That is a huge. Jonas Brodin with 37, that's pretty good as well. Like mid-30s, I feel like is that around his career average? It's actually better. It's like maybe a career year for Jonas Brodin. It is a career year for Jonas Brodin, so that's beautiful. Thank you very much, Jonas. We love that type of offensive output from you. Neil Pionk with 32, I feel like that's lower than last year. Hang on, yeah, okay, well, I'm sorting by points, so it's not as productive as he has been in the past. But better season than last year. So just keep moving those numbers upwards, and I'll be happy with it. Chris Tanev at 35 years old, he's a plus 40. He's making $5 million this year. He's playing 21 minutes time on ice per night, and he's allowing Josh Morrissey to go out there and get 73 points. A beautiful season out of Chris Tanev. Ville Heinola on the third line. I'd like to maybe get him up a little bit more to see if he can grow, but also. I don't know. We don't really need it. We have Jonas Brodin up there as our second line left winger or left defenseman. So I don't really see a future. Maybe there's a future for him, but just not as a top 4 defenseman. Jeff Petrie then 13 points in 82 games, but he's a plus 20. These two guys were just a solid defensive pairing. Not really going to dazzle you with any offense, but they can keep the puck out of the net, and that's what I care about most for a third pairing defensive unit. Looking at the goalies now, that's what I'm talking about, man. At the start of the season, Laurent Brossoit had a way better numbers than Connor Hellebuyck, but the numbers shift back around, and Hellebuyck finishes 37, 17, and 7 with 4 shutouts, 914 save percentage, and a 2.78 goals against. For EA, those are great numbers. Rookie skaters, doesn't look like we have any, so maybe Chaz Lucius doesn't actually count here. And we're looking at rookies still, and looks like Ridley Gregg will win the Calder. That's interesting. But looking at entire league, Brad Marchand takes home the point scoring total. He's got 44 goals, 68 assists for 112 points. Congratulations to the 36-year-old Brad Marchand. He's a plus 56 as well. Crazy stuff. And right under him is probably his line mate, David Pastrnak, with 58 goals, 53 assists for 111 points. Under him by 1 point is Nikita Kucherov, 54 goals, 56 assists for 110 points plus 30. And then the great 8, Alex Ovechkin, he must have done it this year. Let's take a look. 62 goals. He has 944 career goals, and he probably won the Maurice Richard. Yes, he did. Insane stuff out of the, 39-year-old Alex Ovechkin. Then Cale Makar as a defenseman getting 104 points. He's going to win the North for sure. Kuznetsov just dishing that puck to Ovi. Only 19 goals. He has 83 assists in 82 games. Is Evgeny Kuznetsov nuts. Panarin with 50-50 for 100. That's cool. Zibanejad is here as well. Matthew Barzal. Nathan McKinnon only with 98, and I say only because usually he's in the hundreds. Adam Fox with 98. Nick Suzuki. So, I mean, it looks like our scoring is quite up in the NHL. Matthews only with 54 goals. It's a down year for Matthews. That's crazy. Last year he only had 39 though, so that's a real down year. But 54, that's pretty good. And I mean, I'm not being serious when I say 54 goals is a down year. That's incredible, obviously. Sebastian Aho, then Mark Scheifele's up here. So we do have some decent scores. I mean, we're not getting 112 points, but we're close to the 100. We're only like 11 points away from 100. Obviously, Cale Makar is like, 96 overall or something. Yeah, I mean, like his stats are maxed out, basically. You're not going to get much better than that. So let's look at defense exclusively now. We know it's Cale Makar, but just to look at around the league, Josh Morrissey is the 4th best scoring defenseman. He also has maybe the best plus minus. No, he's got the 3rd best plus minus with Chris Tanev. So the first best defensive unit is Bowen Byram and Cale Makar. The second best defensive unit is Josh Morrissey and Chris Tanev, if you want to look at it like that. Because we both have a scorer on the line and then a more defensive player, although Bowen Byram still had 53 points. So you can do, there's only so much that we can do here, but I think that we have the second best defensive unit in the entire NHL, which I'm very glad to see. And now let's look at the goalies. We have Georgiev with 41, Darcy Kemper with 40, Linus Ullmark with 40, Hellebuyck with 37 is about 4th place. But what if we look at save percentage? I don't actually think it's going to go to Hellebuyck. Let's say goalies who have played like 50 games. And let's go to save percentage. And yeah, Ilya Sorokin and Pyotr Kochetkov are tied with save percentage. It looks like probably Pyotr Kochekhov's going to get it because he had a better record. He also only had one less shutout and better, really, really good goals against. Yeah, so it looks like the Vezina probably going to go to Kochetkov. But if we just look at wins, it's Georgiev. His numbers don't look amazing, but they're not bad either. Then Darcy Kemper, Linus Ullmark, Kochetkov is here in wins. So it's probably going to go to Kochetkov this year. But Hellebuck is right there as well with 37. Jonas Korpisalo in Ottawa also has 37. So that's interesting. Philip Gustafsson, Thatcher Demko, Elvis Merzlikins, Jordan Binnington, Yusei Saros, and then the rest of the gang down there. So I guess it's that time now where we take a look at who we will be facing in the playoffs. We are the President's Trophy winners, so let's prove to the NHL that this President's Trophy is not a curse. It's actually good because we get the best matchup, and it's going to be against the Vancouver Canucks. Wow, okay. Vancouver went 41, 36, and 5 in the 82 games that they played last year. This is where we're gonna call it, boys. So if you liked the video, give it a like, comment if you're new, and subscribe. You guys know what to do though. You've been on YouTube for long enough, and I will see you guys in the next one. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. Peace out.